Arriving in Takayama from Shirawagogo, we get settled into our hotel. We were surprised how large it is, not what we were expecting. It's more of a studio apartment, with a kitchen and washer-dryer. Our room overlooks the railroad station, but we never heard the trains. We made dinner reservations over a month ago at Sakura Ja Ya. It comes very highly recommended, with only 3 seatings a night and only 4 customers at each seating. The menu is simple, with a thumbs up next to his recommended dishes. And so that's what we went for, starting off with a sashimi salad, then followed up by some fresh hot French bread. Our next course was fried silken tofu, followed up with an open-flamed mushroom tempura. Hiroshi, the chef and owner, is originally from Takayama, but underwent years of culinary training in Germany.
Flat mushroom?
Flat mushroom, the
Right.
Hida. Next is the maitake, the dancing mushroom. Oh, and dragon's tongue.
What did you say that was?
Dragon tongue
Dragon tongue.
is the name of these beans.
Oh.
But I think it is an English name.
Our final course was Hida beef. Hida beef is actually a variety of Wagyu beef that has been raised in this area, followed by a shot of Beefeater gin. We also had some of his homemade brown sugar plum wine. The next morning, we visit the Miyagawa morning market. It's a short walk from our hotel, crossing the Kabibashi Bridge with its unique long-limbed statues. At the market, we got a chance to taste some of the local persimmons. And yes, they're just like the ones we grow at home. Here we get our first chance at tasting takoyaki, a unique round dumpling with an octopus filling. We found them to be on the soft and doughy side, not quite what we were expecting. We later found out that it's just how they make them here in Takayama. In Kyoto, they cook them until they're fully set on the inside, with a spicier flavoring that we thought were much better than these. We were surprised at how much care they take to display some of their specialty chopsticks. Some can be quite expensive, but these were only running around $5. These are a glutinous rice flour dumpling called mirashi dango that are served with a sweet soy sauce. They reminded us of a fried cheese ball. These are taiyaki, a fish-shaped waffle filled with different flavors of bean paste. These ones were crispier and had a better flavor than the ones we've had before. This is another specialty of the area, Takayama pudding, a warm custard with a caramel base. We were specifically warned not to stir it. Besides all the street food we had, there were plenty of samples available, definitely making a fulfilling breakfast, before visiting the Takayama Festival float exhibit. Twice a year in Takayama, they have a festival called the Takayama Matsuri. These are held both in the spring and the fall. During these festivals, they have a parade, where they display elaborate floats called Yatai. The floats here are from the Autumn Festival, which has a total of 11 Yatai. The Spring Festival has 12. All these floats have been designated by the Japanese government as important cultural properties.
This Yatai is called the Jinmatai, and the name Jinma means horse of the gods. The middle section of the float is decorated with the dreadful faces of demons known as hanya. The hanya are meant to frighten those around the other floats. Each side is affixed with embroidered images of 2 hanya, and the whole float leaves a powerful impression.
As impressive as they are during the day, I can only imagine what they look like at night. Nearby, we visited the Sakurayama Hachiman Shrine. It is Takayama's oldest shrine, dating back to the 4th century, and is the sponsor for the Fall Matsuri Festival. Also here is the Sakurayama Nikko Kan, a 1/10 size model of the Nikoto Toshojiu Shrine. The architecture and ornamentation of the 18 buildings, including carvings and paintings, took the artists over 15 years to complete. The rest of the day we walked through Takayama's historic district. This used to be a residential district, but is now mainly shops. This was a nostalgia store, with candies and toys, mostly from the 50s through the 70s. It also incorporated a small museum. With us getting hungry, that usually meant standing in line. We had Takayama-style ramen noodles, consisting of pork, boiled egg, and a mushroom broth. It was a bit bland until we added a bunch of chili oil in it. That made it pretty good. Our last stop is the small Shida Kongombunji temple, with its 3-story pagoda. Also on the grounds is a 1,200-year-old ginkgo tree, starting to turn its brilliant yellow. This morning we're leaving Takayama on a train toward the small town of Hida. This will be our starting point for a full-day e-bike tour. The train ride is about an hour, passing through some gorgeous fall scenery. The station is very small, and there's only 4 of us to get off. They are sisters from Singapore, and they make up the rest of our tour. Our guy, Dai, is also the owner. Our first stop is at the ruins of an ancient castle that has been turned into a Shinto shrine.
Like, I will just tell you how you can tell the difference between this is Shinto shrine and Buddhist temple. This is Shinto. Like when you see the torii gate, it's always Shinto shrine. And also one more thing, these 2 dogs on the corridor. This is also kind of Shinto shrine's monument. So they are the guardian for this sacred place. Once they find we are bad people, they will bite us. Yeah, so they just, tell, bad people, good people.
The e-bikes we're riding are different than what we've ridden before. These are actually just power assist. The other e-bikes we've ridden would just take off when you start pedaling. The city of Hida Hagiwara is only about 10,000 people, and the village we're going to be visiting in the mountains only has a population of about 1,000. To get through the mountains, we had to go through this 1-kilometer-long tunnel. Once on the other side, we rode along the river Meise, which he said is well known for its clear water and good fishing. For lunch, we walked up to some picnic tables that were on a scenic overlook. An older lady who lived nearby supplied us with lunch. We were each given 2 bento boxes, and since we were foreigners, she made most of the food with local ingredients, including a small whole trout caught in the river. And yes, I ate the whole thing. We asked Dai about the Hida beef we've seen in the markets, but that we've never seen any cows or pastures. He laughed and said it's mainly a government marketing campaign. There's only a small area that produces any beef. Definitely not enough to account for all you see in the markets. After we say our goodbyes, we take the short train ride to the town of Gero, known for its abundance of hot springs and apparently Charlie Chaplin. We're staying at a traditional Japanese ryokan, which is an inn that follows unique Japanese traditions. Gero is located on the volcano called Mount Inake, creating numerous hot springs throughout the mountainous area and throughout the city. On our way to our accommodations, we pass many onsens, public baths, and foot baths like this one, all fed by the natural hot springs. There's even one right in the river. Check-in at the ryokan was awkward. They really didn't speak any English and just handed us this piece of paper. Not knowing what a yukata was, we were directed to an area with different size robes. After giving us a suggestion for size, we were shown to our room. We booked the deluxe room, having its own private ceramic onsen. We had just enough time for a quick shower before our dinner was served.
This is telling us what we have.
Oh.
Do you think she's coming back?
With rice, I thought. But again, without any explanation. We were really pretty lost on how to proceed. Apparently we took a little too much time, because by the time we got to cooking our Hida beef, the flames on the burners have gone out. We did end up managing to get her attention, and she brought us some more fuel for the fire. Right after dinner, she cleared the table and got our room ready for bed. We did enjoy the hot tub, but sleeping on the floor felt more like camping out. The next morning, breakfast was more of the same. We tried asking some more questions, but we were trying to translate into Japanese. After she ran to get her phone, we learned that she spoke Vietnamese. Overall, I think our experience would have been better if we chose a different ryokan. As we head out into town, we continue to fight the rain as we take in some sightseeing. There are a lot of statues throughout the town. This one of the designers of the city. The frog is apparently the unofficial mascot of Gero, since they thought the name Gero sounded something like a frog croaking. Another popular item in this area is a doll called a Sharyu Bobo, which translates to Happy Monkey. And yes, we did buy a few of them for gifts. After getting a ride to the railroad station from our ryokan, we saw this hot spring sculpture across the street. Well, it's time for us to leave the mountains as we head to Kyoto, one of Japan's largest cities.